That's a proper house in the water. Old people are like, oh, when are you getting married? And I never thought marriage when I was studying.
I'm changing who I am.
I really wanted to talk about that a lot in my channel, so that if you're a uni student, listen to this video, okay? Ooh, did we even talk about relationships? I think I want to say this thing here in my channel, so that one day I will come and check it out when I am over it and when things go well. Also, the money does not pay my rent. It felt like I was doing a 9-to-5 job. For the first time I quit job while I was vulnerable for a
Hi
job and
guys, welcome
money.
to our Walk and Talk series, episode 7.
I had taken a break for doing walk and talks, but obviously I've been around. You've been seeing me travel a lot, and by the way, I just realized that I was focusing on the wrong things. So this is how it started, yeah? So after placement, going back to uni, and then now when you're in uni, you're focusing on studies and looking for jobs. So most of the time I used to worry about jobs. I used to, job studies, looking for jobs. Now those rejections, the constant rejections from jobs made me feel like, I'm not good enough. They were just making me feel like giving up and all those things. So at some point I stopped applying for jobs and went to just focus on my studies. I was like, God, I'm just focusing on my studies. Now that I'm done with uni, I have done well. I've gotten a first class honors. I went back to job search again, because now you don't have studies that are stressing you. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning because there's no one chasing you. So this period of after graduation is where I'm realizing that actually God was preparing me to rest a little bit, because it's been studies. Now that I have discovered that actually that is the longest holiday I will ever have in my life. Because obviously as a student, if you are doing undergrad, you finish school you close school around May, and then May, June, July, August, September, that's when you go back to school. So you have all those months for yourself. But now when you're going to the job market, you realize you have only 29 days, 28 days. Guys, tell me this is the life we subscribe to. Oh my god. Yeah, so I feel like when I was in uni, I had a lot of time to travel, to do a lot of things, go to conferences, and with my career, or just things to network with people. So there's so much that I've learned after university, and I feel like if I was to go back, I would have a strategy. I wouldn't want to waste time. But obviously that's why we go to uni, to learn, to experience, and that's the beauty of it. I really wanted to talk about that a lot in my channel, so that if you're a uni student, listen to this video, okay? Yeah, so today's video, I'm going somewhere. It's called the Little Britain Lake. I need to use my Google map because it's part of our walk and talk. Get something to drink. It's called Little Britain Lake. It's 20 minutes and the direction is this way, and this is the view, right? I keep starting this video and restarting, but the point of this video really is to just take a walk. Sometimes, I can only talk too much. Sometimes I want to show you around. I want to show you, the beauty of nature, and I want to share with you the moment, right? So scary. So I'm walking along the river. It's called the Grand Union Canal, and we actually have like houses and places you can come to visit with your friends. I kind of feel lonely, not lonely, I kind of feel kind of scared because I'm walking alone and it's getting dark. But if it gets more darker, I will come back. I will have to come back. But it's 20 minutes walk anyways. And also, this is the last time I am doing this video alone, as in not alone, in London. I mean, obviously if I get a job here in London, well and good, but for now I'll be like telling London goodbye. Look, this is how nakaa hivo, halafu kuko na hapa maji. I'm so scared. Tunaingia hivi and then kuko na hiyo walk. Hey, today's walk and talk is fabulous. I've actually not walked this path despite me living in this place for all those years. But yeah, we have boats. People actually live in those boats. Yeah, we have the boats. People actually live in the boats. You can rent to live in a boat as well. You see, there are actually activities as well. Hey, August bank holiday boat trips. You see, volunteer. You can volunteer, sign up for things and all that. So this is actually how people get to come together and do something meaningful. Look at this. More of these. Yeah, let's go back to the things we were talking about. So I talked about like realizing that actually if I went back to school again, I will not put my focus fully on academics. Obviously, studies should be your priority. They should be your first thing to do. But look for opportunities. Go connect with like-minded people. If you're in Kenya, there is this organization my friend started. It's called Mazingira Green Hub. So if you're in Kenya during these events, sign up to events like planting trees, seek opportunities that are in line with your career, or even if they're not in line with your career or something that you like, something you're interested in. I'm telling you, you're going to gain a lot of wisdom and insights, and also that will help you even when you're dealing with studies. Because what I realized in university is not about like getting A's, it's not about cramming things, but it's about applying stuff, application, critical thinking, understand how we can solve these problems. Yeah, so I think that is my biggest lesson that I learned now that I have graduated. The connections and the networks you make. Also reaching out to LinkedIn, like you see people who are doing the same thing in your field on LinkedIn, reach out. Okay, when you see those things, reach out. And yeah, that's a proper house. That's a proper house in the water. I'm just curious, but I'll do research. Just that I'm holding a camera right now. Excuses. If I see water, I'm just worried about you living here. Especially it's stagnant water. What about like the waterborne diseases? I would be, yeah, but maybe I don't doubt there's something that has been done. If it was mosquitoes, they will not be here. Anyway, yeah, so that was the point. Reach out to people. Let's do some things. Also start things like a YouTube channel. For me, I started this, I found it's my happy place. Now I just vlog like I just vlog. I just feel good, and every time I go back to my portfolio, I'm like, wow, that's me. And it's not just about like the portfolio or the things I've done, but you might learn a lot of skills that you can use in your day-to-day life. they can help you even during interviews. Sometimes they ask you, how did you solve this? When did you argue? No, they will phrase it in a professional way, but when did you disagree with the customer? When did you disagree as a team? And then you have to like use the STAR method, the situation, task, action, and results. So you will have to do these things, but obviously this is no pressure. This is like if you wanna be at the top, because I feel like the bottom hapa tuko wengi. This a lot of us fighting for up, but life is so funny and unfair as well. My friend says life is cruel. You might do all these things and still not get that you want. That's where life begins, especially when rejections comes in. It's so funny. So we have that, you see, and then we have another life. Hey, this life no balance. So cute. Look at this one. It's so cute. Oh my god, look at this. This is beautiful. Look at this. That is the view, guys. I'm trusting that I'm going to the right place. Oh, nimechoka. Let me change my kiondo. I have whole first aid. If anything happens, I have an umbrella, I have a water bottle, I have energy drink, I have lip balm, I have a lot of things. Yeah. Anyway, so that was about career, networking, and uni life. Realize that after uni, most of the people, when you don't get a job, you probably start looking for, you start a project, or you start your own government organization, or start your own business, because sometimes the job market is not that promising. Or maybe I might be saying this from a point of desperation, because I've not gotten anything yet, as in terms of my career. Another thing that I'm realizing now after uni is that sometimes you won't land jobs that you always wanted. Probably end up to doing things that are totally out of your scope, to some extent, because you need to pay. Look at this. We need a bin here, because this is where people sit, and there's they sit to drink and do that. So it needs to do something about that. See the effect of plastics and all these things. The most things about like cans and the plastics is because they can't biodegrade. So if you leave them in the nature and then you don't manage them properly, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just there waiting for someone to come and collect it. That's the saddest part about this, using plastic cans and plastics. I want to eat something. More boats. Another world. Nice. So we're coming from nature, and you can see human encroachment. Humans and buildings. I don't know. Looks like in Kenyan version, looks like dormitories. It's well maintained. Look at this. Yeah. So I was saying, like, you know, after uni you realize you need to pay bills. You have to pay bills. And oh my god, I realized that I knew for sure, like, I was on a scholarship. I knew I would pay bills, but hey, so after graduating, let me give you a personal story. So after graduating, I looked for a job, and then I landed in this job where I was working as a room attendant. So, you know, I used to wake up like 6 in the morning and then take a train, which was like 1 hour to King's Cross station, and then I do work. The job was 5 hours. The job that I was doing was 5 hours, but you know, it was a lot of manual work, carrying a lot of heavy. There's something happening. Okay. Yeah, so I was doing a lot of manual work. I mean, to me, I just feel like I could do it, but it was too much to work for 5 hours. And then I realized that I'm using a lot of transport, and then also the money does not pay my rent. It felt like I was doing a 9-to-5 job, you know, for just too little. I had to quit. For the first time, I quit job while I was vulnerable for a job and needed money. Oh my god, and I had to quit. And then after that, I was applying for jobs on LinkedIn, every kind of job. I mean, morally upright, a good, you know, job. I applied for every job on LinkedIn. I was putting my CV. You know, when you're applying for professional jobs, you have to craft your CV to suit the job description. But I was so vulnerable. I was just putting all the CVs. Oh my god, I had like almost 10 different CVs on content creation, marketing, communication. Hey, now I ended up getting one. So actually, that's why I'm saying, like, you know, this is my last video, probably a walk and talk in London, because I will be moving out. I'll be, you know, I got a job where I will be going to live, and the job is actually so close to where I'll be living. So as I sort things out, you know, or if I like the job, I might end up doing that job and advancing in that sector, health sector. While still applying for a dream role, I'm not giving up on my dream role. So if you're watching this video, you know, and you're looking for someone who is an environmental enthusiast, you know, not just people who want job, because I went to study in university for 5 years for a good reason, and that's the reason I never quit my course, because I loved it, and environment is something so dear to me. I want to be directly involved in activities that help solve environmental issues and you know, make Earth a better place. I want to do all those things. So if you're looking for that person, don't look far. This is funny. I just realized we didn't end up in the Little Britain Lake, but we ended up in West Drayton, because I'm like, I can see that is West Drayton over there. Look, that's where we're coming from, and that is the West Drayton bus, because I was like, I can see this, the London bus. I was like, where are we? Wow. Where's the lake? Why is the lake? I just avoided asking people because I didn't want people to know where I'm going, but it's too late for a girl to be in park alone at this time. So I'll continue walking and probably show you till we can't walk anymore. And I hope guys you enjoyed the walk, because I've enjoyed. I was going to a different place and ended up in a different place, but I mean it's fine. This is the West Rayton train station. It's called West Rayton train station, and then you have like buildings and buildings and buildings and the canal. Here we don't have a lot of humans. I mean, you have the train station there, but other things I've realized about uni is give things time, Bana. Give things time and trust in God. Trust in God and believe Him. Believe in timing, the beauty of timing, you know. And in your waiting season, sometimes it can be confusing. Sometimes it can be like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Am I getting rejections? Maybe it's time to pause and relax. You know, I was like, I've been studying the whole of my life. Maybe it's time to plan about the way forward, you know. So I think those are some of the things I've learned after graduating, you know. And I feel like moving on, I feel like I'm ready to start that I am going to start, whether it's a job. Oh, did we even talk about relationships? I think it's a new chapter, you know. After graduation, it's a new chapter, minded of who you are sometimes, and then now you have to deal with, you know, defining your happiness, what matters to you, and being patient with life as well, because, you know, you probably see, you know, things working for others, your things feeling like like what the hell am I supposed to be doing at this time? So easy, take things pole pole. God knows what He's doing. And then also after graduation, I realized, oh, by the way, I'm growing old. People are like, oh, when are you getting married? And I never thought of marriage when I was studying. Now I'm like, yeah, I need to get married. But one thing I'm learning is, you know, take time to vet people, take time to, you know, choose wisely as well, because it's not easy. So obviously there is a lot of things that happens after graduating, because it's like switching a certain part of your brain, because when you're a student and there are so many privileges of becoming a student. Did I even mention the Microsoft 365 packages? I just graduated, and then the following morning I was like, I can't access Microsoft Excel, and what is the problem? And I'm like, you're no longer a student. Yeah, and that's life, you know. So you realize that, you know, kila kitu na wakati wake. Time for being a student, time for being a citizen. I'm enjoying, but I kind of feel like this is too much for me. I'm expected to do everything, but I'm like, uni has prepared me already. So I think I will end this video, and then I will take my Red Bull. So cheers to more winnings, cheers to more life, cheers to more life, cheers to more good vibes and growth, you know, personal growth. Cheers to sharing memories and experiences. Expect a lot of UK content. I'll be traveling a lot. Yeah, I'm working so hard, and I think I want to travel the world with the money that I make. Yeah, so you will be seeing a lot of travel content. Expect a lot of me bringing new faces in my YouTube channel. Expect a lot of sit down talks and a lot of walk-in talks as well. And until then, take care and see you in the next video. Subscribe to this channel. Let's get to 2K subscribers, okay? Yes, tell a friend to tell a friend, okay? Bye bye for now. Bye.